belts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it. Touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Alrighty, here is the last race here in today's triple header segment of racing, and it'll be the Bridge to Cup series for 210 laps here at Knoxville. Starting on the front row, you've got Scott Speed alongside Lucas Holmes. Behind that, you got Atley Wiese and Jammy Horseman, Bradley Ream and Spin'em Walker, Rich Roy and Adam Starr, Roach and Krista Cower, Kevin Xavier and AJ Kosnoff, Cannon Gage and Kat Durham, Wyatt Wilkinson in his last of his few special starts here in Bridge to Cup. We'll see him focus primarily on ARCA for the rest of the season after tonight. And then David Bird alongside of him, Alan Malcolm and Ryan Little, Luis Rodriguez and John Hagan, Kyle Ottawa and Kyler Sustre, Jack Davis and Nadak Hagum, Andrew Moger and Dave Steele Jr. starting deep in the field, Gannon Bird and Osiel Escobar. If any indication, we had the 10 truck win the first race, the 9 car win the ARCA race. So if we're following a linear progression, perhaps the 8 car can make it to victory lane here at the Bridge to Cup event. We'll have to see. Anheuser Walkner and Ace Blake, Braden Hunt and Noah Hobson, with Paul Ladino and Chasey Plays at the back of the field here. We saw a very bizarre triple overtime in the ARCA race just moments ago. And we'll have to see how this race pans out. It often lends itself to long green flag runs with very, very minimal passing. A lot of, follow the leader. This race could surprise us, though. We might see some chaos. We might see some shenanigans. Green flag waving. We're off for the last 200 laps here today. 210, actually. Atley Wiese charging on the inside with a good push from his own team car behind him. Atley making a charge here on the 95 of Scott Speed. Those two teammates running 1-2, actually. That's his teammate in the 95. Atley in the 84 looking a little bit faster here. Atley's hunting for his second win here in the month of May. Three wide back there for about 8th place. Bradley Ream running in 3rd. Rich Roy running in 4th. Now, the one thing that we know for certain is Atley Wiese needs to get a win to be guaranteed in their playoffs. He joined this car late season, and so our I guess ideal concept of a waiver, similar to what NASCAR does for drivers that miss a race. You got to win in the car after you rejoin, and that's the deal. Is Atley Wiese joined this car midway through the season when the departure of GP Luxembourg left them without a driver. Atley inherited the points from the 84 and will continue to be in the top, at least for now, top 20 in points. But he's hoping to get a win and solidify himself in the top 16, as that'll be the only way he can be eligible for the playoffs, is if he stays in the top 16 and earns himself a win here in Bridge to Cup action. Team owner Guido Piano owns these two cars that are leading the way right now. Ideally would love to see the 95 earn a win and get himself locked into the bracket championship as well. Although the 95 of Scott Speed could still point his way in without a win. So really the bargaining chips look like the 84 is in a must win. And I'm sure Guido Piano would not be upset with a win from either or. You can tell Atley knows that he needs that win to be a threat for the championship. His seeding is going to be mildly unfavorable, but also somewhat surprisingly will be favorable at the same time, because we know that Atley is a strong talent. And even if he seeds in like 10th place and has to fight drivers that are in the top 5 in points for that bracket battle, he might be a ringer at the back of the field. He would not be accurate to his he would be a tough number 10 for even your number 5 to race against. Here goes Atley, making it look easy as he gets alongside his teammate to take the lead here. It's impressive. As soon as Atley joined this team, those BMWs have gotten something figured out. They've been running a lot stronger, a lot more competitive. It almost feels like Atley brought the books with him to help this team flourish. They actually swapped the lead there as Scott Speed gets the lead back. Atley falls back to second, so this could be good old-fashioned team battle. A lot the likes of Penske at Indianapolis. You're getting to see Guido's team put on a good show here for the fans in Knoxville. These cars are going to catch lap traffic a lot quicker than your ARCA cars will. They are turning faster laps. They've already gotten into the 17.2s, and I wouldn't be surprised if they find their ways into a 16.9 on lap times here. This battle's impressive. You're seeing Atley putting on strong push here to keep his teammate on his toes. Here comes Atley, going to take the lead back here as these two slice and dice for the overall lead. Atley with his fastest time being a 17.174. He's not even the fastest, as Kyler Sestre turned a 17.138. There's 3 cars in the 17.1s. Atley's going to take over the lead and have clear track for the first time here tonight. And that's going to be scary if he can start turning even quicker laps with fresh track in front of him. We'll see what his lap time this time is. 17.271. But ultimately, Atley doing what he must to get that win and lock himself into a championship battle that has been a couple years in the making, I guess. No way. I step away for just a moment and Atley Wiese suffers a tire failure on that 84. And he has to pull off from the lead. How many times have we seen flat tire totally upset Atley's apple cart? Holy cow, man. It was looking like Atley had a car to beat here today. Well, now he's going to get trapped a couple laps down here, unfortunately. 2 laps down for Atley, but if we get some cautions, he'll get the wave around and get back on the lead lap if he's the only one 2 laps down. Meantime, that flips the lead over to his teammate, Scott Speed. Man, that was setting up to be a really neat story for Atley Wiese there. I think that's about the 3rd time we've seen him with troubles at the front of the field this year already. Whether it be Cup, Cup or Bridge to Cup now, since he's only been running Cup up to this point. We're going to see that he's still really fast. That 84 is going to stay in front and keep 2 laps down. He ain't going to go 3 laps down. Not with the speeds that he's able to turn. He would need a very quick caution here to avoid getting trapped 2 laps down. Osceola up to 25th here. Impressively, Lucas Holmes in second, Bradley Ream in third, Luis Rodriguez in fourth, Rich Roy in fifth, Adam Starr sixth, Cannon Gage seventh, Andrew Moger eighth, Jack Davis ninth, and Spinham Walker in 10th. Huge shout out for Dave Steele Jr. to really close up on the front of the field here. He started deep in the starting order and making up a lot of ground here to prove why he has been the most dominant driver in this Bridge to Cup competition this year. Luis Rodriguez goes high there, looks a little bit out of sorts. Atley's now caught up to some of the lap traffic here. And we got word that there is debris on track. Merits a full course caution. Atley will get one of his laps back here as he's been given the wave around signal. He's going to get by the lap, well, not the lap traffic, just the traffic on the inside here. Alrighty, so only one retirement, the 90 of Jamie Horseman, out of the race. Everyone else back on the lead lap again, as the pace lights should be going off on the pace car this time. Get a full-blown restart here on lap 56. Gaining the lead is Lucas Holmes on pit stops here. He inherits the lead with Bradley Ream moving up to second and Scott Speed falling back to third. Pace car is off. They're going to get re-rolling for the restart here as the green flag in hand waves for the leader here. And everyone should be good to go the entirety of the way with fuel and tires and everything that's involved here. So it's really just going to be a race of earning it from here. Whoever's got the best car to finish out the run and win the race, it's going to come down to it. Kyle Ottawa in 7th, Spinham Walker in 6th. Rich Roy, Adam Starr, Scott Speed, Lucas Holmes, and leading the way is Bradley Ream. Someone's down pit road there. Trying to figure out who. Let's see, there we go. 48 of Luis Rodriguez made an unscheduled pit stop there. Still, no one has cracked into the 16.9 second. Still 17.1, your fastest lap. That belongs to the 26 of Lucas Holmes. Now up to third is Rich Roy. 4th, Adam Starr. 5th, Scott Speed falling backwards here. Adam Starr on the attack. You can see him fighting it for third there with Rich Roy. Atley recovering from his flat tire, now moving through the field here. Had the lead before he got that flat tire, so now just trying to storm his way back up to the front. You can tell his car definitely stouter than the rest of them as he's moving through the traffic pretty quickly here. It'd be really cool if Osceola Escobar could get the win. After the truck race was number 10, ARCA was number 9. Just, it would be poetic to have the 8 win it here today. 10-9-8 in a triple header. Dave Steele back up into the top 10 here, fighting for 9th on John Hagan. Man, Hagan had the early success in the season with the win at Daytona, and it's kind of fallen apart here way later into the season. That 88 has been struggling. I don't know if maybe it's the performance of the Hyundai that's struggling. We did get to see Roach get a win in the Hyundai. So Hyundai's gotten 2 wins this season. And we already know now that Hyundai's going to be working its way into Cup for 2025. Part of Jacob Shangle Racing and its venture into something new. Atley making quick work, working through the field here, already up to 26th since the restart, where he started 34th. Bradley Ream continues to lead. We got to see Bradley Ream get his first ever win in Bridge to Cup action last race out. Where he won it at the Bathurst Rallycross circuit. So he's definitely on the upward trend here in that 19 car. He's worked his way up to 4th in the points, and even with a win today, he could jump up to 2nd in the points if all things go his way. Atley Wiese sits 13th in the points. His teammate Scott Speed sits 12th in the points. Those two have had nearly an identical season so far, as there's only about 12 points that separate the two of them, 11th and 12th in the points. Scott Speed, however, struggling here on this restart. He's fallen backwards to 6th, and he's about to be under attack by Kyle Ottawa for position. Let's check back on Atley and see his venture through the field. Man, he's already up to 22nd. And he'll have top 20 in a matter of moments here. Kyle Ottawa losing some ground here as Krista Cower closes the gap. Krista Cower takes over 7th place. Rich Roy falls back to 6th. Scott Speed up to 5th. Heck, Scott Speed just turned a 17:131. That is 2nd fastest to Lucas Holmes. This guy is still putting out fast laps even late into the run. We're 78 laps in with 133 laps to go. And there comes Spinham Walker going around the 27 of Adam Starr. Scott Speed also with some momentum on his side. He might be looking to take the position away from the 27. As they come across now turns 3 and turns 4. Scott Speed right there on the back bumper. Now we're in turns 3 and 4. Man, I was off by a... And that's the front stretch. Here comes the 95. Ace Blake has dropped back to 32nd here, unfortunately. Cannon Gage, who sits top 3 in the points, he's having a rough go of it. Looks like he took some damage to the front end of that car, running in 30th. Osiel Escobar in 25th. Wyatt Wilkinson solidly in the top 20, running 20th right now. Nadak Hagam. And here comes Atley Wiese. He is on a mission. Well, damn, Gannon Bird just turned a fast lap there, 17:156. But now it's getting upset by the passing of Roach on the inside there. Bird turns a fast lap and then gets shuffled backwards. You gotta imagine Roach must have turned a pretty quick lap to do that. Yes, a 17.248. Ooh, Kyle Ottawa up to 10th as that knocks Dave Steele Jr. back to 11th. Teammates running 6th and 7th as Adam Starr and Krista Cower run nose to tail here. Scott Speed up to 3rd. Things really have stabled out here. Bradley Ream continues to lead over Lucas Holmes. Scott Speed in 3rd. Spinham Walker in 4th. Rich Roy in 5th. Adam Starr, Krista Cower. Impressive run from Kat Durham in the 6th car there. Jack Davis running 9th. Dave Steele Jr. back up to 10th as he gets back around. Kyle Ottawa knocking him to 11th. Then you've got John Hagan, Ryan Little, Andrew Moger, Roach, and now Atley Wiese up into the top 15 on a mad dash to the front after a flat tire knocked him out from the lead. He's going to be right up behind his team car there in the 78 of Moger. And we got a hornet's nest for top 10 here. Man, Atley has really closed the gap down. He's 7.5 seconds out of the lead, and he's continuing to close that gap each lap. We'll have to keep an eye on that gap. We know he's been blowing through the field. .32 seconds is the deficit now. As you see, he's right up on the back bumper of his team car, the 78 of Moger. He's able to get by Moger, and he's only 7.2 seconds back from the lead now. It's gonna be something like, yep, 7 seconds. So he's gonna catch the front of the field before you know it. Can't go wrong for Atley as Bradley Ream's running up front for the win. Lucas Holmes gets by Bradley Ream though, so Ream loses the lead here. Holmes takes over. Scott Speed in 3rd. This is keeping things interesting. 11 of Spinham Walker in 4th. Spinham has a win in the month of May here. Looking for a second one to get that bonus reward. We are officially halfway through our final race in the triple header today. 104 laps to go after we've completed 106. And it's really anyone's game at this point. Bradley Ream could get it done. I would not count out the likes of Atley Wiese, who's now cracked his way up to 12th. 3 wide behind him for 13th. Or else 2 wide is the 48th lap down, actually. But Atley right there on the back bumper of John Hagan. He's going to be in the top 10 before you know it. His deficit now it's shrunk down to 6.34 for Atley as he's continuing to close the gap on the leader. There is proof the puncture came from the debris that the eventual caution was thrown for. You know, sometimes it's hard to see where the debris is on these dirt tracks because you can't tell sometimes if there's a part that's sticking up out of the dirt. It was a very sharp bar that Atley hit. No one else had found it yet, but finally, upon further review of the replay, they figured out that there was chunk of rebar in the track poking out, and that's where the caution waived for that one debris caution that we had. Since the restart, it's been kind of a mixed bag at the front of the field. We've seen the lead swap hands numerous times here. Bradley Ream took it for quite a while. Now Lucas Holmes, and we know Scott Speed can get that lead. He's been there at the start of the race leading, as we're down to 98 laps left in the NOSVILLE 210. Atley now up to 11th, 6.3 seconds back. He's going to have to catch up to Jack Davis in the 09. And this is going to get harder. The closer he gets to the front, the faster the cars are going to get. So he's going to have to pull out all the stops to get back up to the front to potentially win this race. Almost going to need a caution to get back into the fold. But even if there isn't a caution, he's turning fast enough laps that he could still probably run his way up to the front. Oh no, the 8 of Osiel Escobar suffered from a wreck or a parts failure. We'll have to see, but this is that caution that Atley needed. Blown engine for the 8. That's a heartbreaker. 77% damage to that engine. Blown engine for Osiel. Fortunately, commentator's curse probably kicked in there, as I was hoping that 8 car could get the win and follow a linear progression for our triple header, seeing the 10 truck win and the 9 car. But unfortunately for the 8, his day comes to an early end here. More drivers get caught up in the unfortunate aftermath there. 81 of Ottawa. Ooh, the 51 of Cannon Gage gets spun. Hopefully we can get things sorted here and not cause a big pile up. Atley Wiese has worked his way back up into a top 10 position here with just a handful of laps after halfway. We'll have to see how the pit stops shake things up here, because I'm sure that things are going to get a little bit out of sorts with pit stops under caution here. We might see some movers and some droppers. '84 getting some gas, I believe. 35 now leaving. They're probably doing some damage repair to the 84 of Atley. This is going to drop him back yet again. He's going to have to come through the field. Man, at least he stayed on the lead lap. Man, the 95 taking a long trip on pit road. The 26 of Holmes takes a long trip on pit road. So Atley might not lose too much spots here. But due to those pit stops, now we've got, oh wow, Atley stays in 10th. But your leaders get flip-flopped around. As now Andrew Moger up to 9th. Wyatt Wilkinson up to 8th. Gannon Bird 7th. Dave Steele Jr. 6th. Cat Durham in 5th. Bradley Ream maintains a top 5. Krista Cower in 3rd. Adam Starr in 2nd. And Spinham Walker, your new leader after pit stops there. 95 unfortunately suffered a long pit stop. The 26 of Lucas Holmes suffered a very long pit stop. And Atley maintains top 10. This could be Cat Bird's seat for Atley Wiese, as the competition in front of him a little bit easier to pass, I think, now. Atley doesn't lose much ground. He did get some damage repaired on that pit stop. That's why it took a little bit longer. Coming back to green for the restart on lap 122, as we'll have 88 laps to go. Leading the way, it's Spinham Walker. Whoa, they're 2x2x2 with lap traffic all over the place there. 3 wide. As you can see, John Hagan driving in deep. Spinham Walker currently holds the lead. But for how long? At the rate they're going, it's going to be Calamity Corner one of these turns. Spinham Walker holds the lead currently. Bradley Ream on the inside. I think Cat Durham for position here. Cat Durham's going to take the lead away from Spinham Walker. Bradley Ream making some moves. 3 wide for your lead positions here. Deeper in the field, you see Andrew Moger go 3 wide with his boss man, Atley Wiese there. This is getting very exciting, very chaotic, as Bradley Ream takes back over the lead here. Dave Steele Jr. in the mix now, as Gannon Bird joins the party. Bradley Ream leads. Alan Malcolm a lap down there. But the top 3 almost going to be 3 wide for the lead, as Gannon Bird has to deal with the likes of Dave Steele Jr. there. Dave Steele rolling all the way to the front of the field. He's going to take the lead. Steal the lead from Bradley Ream. What a stout change of events here, as that 35 leads. Bradley Ream in 2nd. Krista Cower now up to 3rd. Gannon Bird in 4th. Adam Starr 5th. Cat Durham 6th. Andrew Moger 7th. AJ Kosnoff in the middle there. Spinham Walker 8th. Atley Wiese still right around the top 10, but things got a lot harder here on the restart, as things have gotten chaotic here. That 84 is not finding as much open space to make moves on the inside as he's getting held up by the traffic in front of him. Still a lot of racing to go. There's still a lot that could pan out. No reason for any more pit stops, as everyone should be good to go all the way to the finish with the gas that they've got. Bradley Reams settled into second, and he's losing a gap to the 35 of Dave Steele Jr. It's crazy how much can change on the turn of a dime, especially when a caution comes out that shakes up the whole running order like this. Dave Steele has come from deep in the field to taking the lead here late in the race. That was impressive come around. Bradley Ream looking to make it 2 for 2 in the last 2 races, but he's got his work cut out for him now, as Dave Steele is going to be the toughest guy for you to actually come around and pass at the end of one of these. Gannon Bird settled into third. He's hoping to redeem himself after having missed out on the Coke 300 just a couple weeks ago, where he almost had a win. Him and his teammate Cannon Gage look stout there at Charlotte. Adam Starr still seeking his first career win in Sigma racing. Krista Cower, always the consistent, quietly consistent one. And then you've got Atley Wiese, who's recovering from a flat tire and is in the mix here in the top 10. Ooh, and the 09 clips him just a tad there, going through the turn. Atley needs to find some clean track to get through the field here. He is just getting mired back with the traffic. Now Dave Steele off to the races with a clean track in front of him. Of course, if this race continues to stay green for the rest of it, he could be dealing with lap traffic by the end of this run. And we all know how that always seems to throw a wrinkle in these races at Knoxville. We've seen drivers wreck out of the lead before too. Here we go, Atley making a move for 8th on Jack Davis. Now he's going to have his sights set on the 98 of Krista Cower for 7th. Things getting a little bit more sorted out here as he's got some more clean track to work with in front of him. Meanwhile, Bradley Ream really losing the fight with Dave Steele Jr. Dave Steele really stretching it out. The longer he stretches it out, the quicker he's going to catch lap traffic, though. Dave Steele has just now caught up to the lap traffic of Cannon Gage. As you see, he had a rough tumble in that last caution that has left his car looking more like a modified. He's now 2 laps down as Dave Steele gets around him. Bradley Ream sits 2.5 seconds back of the lead. He needs to dig down and find some extra horses to try and catch that 35 car. Nice. Rich Roy up to 3rd. That's an impressive turnaround there from the 29 team. Gannon Bird, Adam Starr, Spinham Walker, Krista Cower, and Atley Wiese, followed by Jack Davis and Anheuser Wagner. Still fighting in the top 15, you've got Wyatt Wilkinson running in 13th. Very much still in the mix to get up to 11th or 10th even. So not impossible for him to get a top 10 run here. Things have kind of equalized for the whole field as Dave Steele Jr. was saving his stuff for the last stretch of the race here, it seems like. We knew that he was capable of pulling this off. There's a reason why he's been the most dominant driver here. Do we have a caution around? The 10 of Kevin Xavier from 19th place has a blown engine. And with fluid down on track, we're going to throw the caution. So we'll get another restart on the horizon here with roughly about 45 laps to go. blown engine from Kevin Xavier has forced the second caution in the race, or rather third caution. We're just down to 50 laps left to go here as part of our triple header event here today. Congrats yet again to Jordan Walker on getting the win at the truck race at Pocono earlier today. And then Rand Kataz getting the ARCA win here at Knoxville. And still 49 laps left to determine the winner here with the Bridge to Cup series. Looking like Dave Steele might be a tough cookie to crumble here in the closing laps. Bradley Ream right there behind him wants to get back-to-back wins for the Mazda team. So we should get back to going this next time by. I believe the lights will go off on the pace car here. Yep, they get sorted at the front of the field. It's going to be Dave Steele leading them to the restart. The lap traffic definitely throws us a bit of a curveball wild card on these restarts here at the short tracks, as it's been proven that better cautions tends to crash this game if I have it enabled on a short track. So we are doing standard 2003 rule. Lap cars restart on the inside, the lead cars restart on the outside. And Dave Steele's going to charge it into turn one, but the 24 going to charge it in a little harder here. Dave Steele's got a little bit of adversity to deal with, as 19 of Bradley Ream's going to find an open spot on the inside here, I believe. Well, not quite. He's still got to deal with the 88 of John Hagan lap car. John Hagan could help Bradley's case if he gets alongside the 35 to make a move. Bradley Ream stuck up high here. That 22, Noah Hobson making moves. 35 is going to get inside of Kyler Sustre. And if he closes the door here, it's pretty much sayonara to the rest of the field. Dave Steele Jr. still looking for his second win here in the month of May. He's actually been pretty well held winless in the month of May. He had one win at Evergreen, and that's kept him pretty much in the talks each week. Here comes Atley Wiese now up to fourth. Make that third, I think. He's fighting the 46 for third place. 27 of Adam Starr up to second. This race ain't over. There's still a lot that can transpire in these next 30-some laps. Atley now up to second. It's going to be him versus Dave Steele Jr. for the win here. We know Atley has a fast car. He just turned a 17.164, almost in line with his fastest lap of the race. 27 unfortunately gets inside of Atley. This is going to keep Atley from making up ground to the leader. Dave Steele Jr. stretching it out little by little. 27 Adam Starr keeping it interesting here. It's fascinating how the drivers that were at the front of the field have all started to cycle back to the front. You got 26, Lucas Holmes back in the top 5. Scott Speed right there in about 7th. 3 wide as Lucas Holmes goes low here. Oh, 3 wide. That's going to be hairy for those 3 drivers as you got Lucas Holmes, Gannon Bird, and Atley Wiese fighting for 3rd position. Dave Steele stretching it out here in the closing laps. 35 laps remaining. Dave Steele Jr. turns the quickest lap now, taking over fastest lap. Honors at a 17:104. Everyone was waiting until this last stretch of the race to turn their fastest laps, it seems. Atley struggling here. He's dropping backwards. He's under attack by his team driver, the 19 of Bradley Ream. And then just behind him, his teammate, the 95, Scott Speed. Wyatt Wilkinson trying to get himself back up into a top 10 fight here. Currently running 10th as he got by the 09. The 4 of Braden Hunt, that'll be for position. He could get himself up to 9th here even. It's impressive. Wilkinson has shown some promise and strength in Bridge to Cup starts that he's posted here so far. It's not going to be too much longer before he makes it full-time in this Bridge to Cup series. Fighting for wins, I imagine. Man, Dave Steele is gone. G-O-N-E, gone at the front of the field. Short of something terrible happening, it doesn't look like anyone's going to catch that 35 car. He will be seeking his 6th win of the season. And that's just going to be a little too short for Atley to come back and get the win here today. He had a car to beat. He was leading for the first stint of the race until a flat tire knocked him out of the lead. He's come back from 2 laps down to fighting for the top 10 yet again and almost up into the top 5. But unfortunately, running out of time here tonight to get anything else out of it. He's going to have to move on to the next race and try to shoot for winning as many of them as he can to lock himself into the bracket battle championship. Gannon Bird looking like he's going to maintain second in the points here with a great run. Bradley Reams probably going to jump up to about third. Lucas Holmes continues. Oh, now we've got a late race caution with the 6 stalling on track here. Another blown engine here today. We'll give it one opportunity for a double file restart to let these guys duke it out. We'll send all the lap traffic to the back. It's not going to work, is it? It's not going to work. I don't think it's going to work because I did it wrong. Ooh, we lucked out. We will get a double file restart. Okay, so restart underway here with 10 laps to go, it looks like. Oh, and we're wrecking. Oh, the 46 and the 26 bring out another caution here. Some drivers had to make an unscheduled pit stop there. That's why things got all out of sorts, and we saw that wreck. Dave Steele had to pull down pit road. He's going to rejoin the track on the lead lap. And so now Adam Starr gets the lead with Rich Roy in second, Nadak Hagum in third, Bradley Ream in fourth, Roach in fifth, Atley Wiese in sixth, Spinham Walker seventh, Jack Davis eighth, Scott Speed in ninth, Anheuser Walkner in 10th, Ace Blake in 11th, Wyatt Wilkinson 12th. Rest of the field pretty much sorted here. Ooh, some more takers down pit road here as Nadak Hagum has to pit. Things are gonna get funky with 9 laps to go. It's no holds barred. Adam Starr eyeballing what could potentially be his first career Sigma victory. Rich Roy in second. Bradley Ream hoping to get back-to-back wins here, sitting in third. Roach looking for his second win. And then you've got Atley Wiese, who's just been close to the front of the field mostly all day. He's going to have one more shot at it, just as everyone else here in the top 5, top 10. This could get interesting. Hopefully we can get back to green and see this race finish next time around. No more cautions, no more green-white checkers. Just let them race for it. Finish this race up cleanly. Adam Starr, Rich Roy are going to double up here for the restart. Pace car is going to pull off. These two lead the field. They've got to set the restart zone. And here we go. 8 laps to go. Hopefully we can get this one in the books here tonight. Bradley Ream with a good push from his boss man there. They might start wrecking again in the background. We know this track has a problem with that. They're keeping it clean, pulling down pit road. It looks like we're going to stay green, clean and green, as we've got 6 laps left in this one. Bradley Ream going on the inside of Adam Starr. It's going to be a battle between these two. Wyatt Wilkinson starting to close the gap. Wyatt Wilkinson up into the top 6. Keep your eyes out on that 39 car as he's about to be up into the top 5 here. Speeds he's turning 17.266, 17.251. Looking at Bradley Ream, he's turned a 17.27. Rich Roy, Wyatt Wilkinson. Bradley Ream might have to deal with a little bit of lap traffic here, it looks like. Wyatt Wilkinson holding stout there in 5th, as there's only going to be 3 laps to go this time by. Bradley Ream looking to make it back-to-back wins here in Bridge to Cup action. Wyatt Wilkinson losing a little bit of ground there. Jack Davis, really the only driver with a shot at getting the win here as it stands right now. He's closing up on the 19 little by little. This next time they're going to collect the white flag as long as we don't get a caution before the start-finish line. 19 Bradley Ream gets the white flag. 1 lap to go. Next flag ends the race no matter what. Bradley Ream is cruising around turns 3 and now heading out at turn 4. That 19 car is going to go back to back here in Bridge to Cup action, getting his second win in 2 weeks. So momentum definitely on his side. Looks like Atley's going to come home in about 11th. Dave Steele unfortunately falls out of it 1 lap down in 23rd, even after dominating for so much of the race as he did. But it's Bradley Ream, Jack Davis, the 29 of Rich Roy, the 27 of Adam Starr, and the 65 of Anheuser-Wagner. 98 of Krista Cower, the 95 of Scott Speed. Wyatt Wilkinson comes home with an 8th, Roach in 9th, and the 13 of David Bird comes home with a top 10. So our triple header in the books now, as we have hit race number 16 of 30 in Bridge to Cup action. And Bradley Ream, back-to-back winner, gets the job done. He's going to be eyeballing, trying to go for a triple, trying to get 3 in a row if possible. So congrats to Bradley Ream here. And thanks for everyone tuning in for the triple header here today. It was a full, roughly about a 4-hour stretch there of racing nonstop for the day. That gets our week all finished up, and it closes out most of the racing that we had here in the month of May. Don't forget, we do have the IROC race this Friday, hosted by Brian DeBlanc. And there's still one more driver possibly that could get an extra win to add to their May bonus wins, their reward month of May madness. And it's looking like it was a well put together project, and I think we'll see another project like it in the future. So thank you, everyone. Glad you could tune in. Stay safe out there. Hopefully we'll see you next week for some more racing action. Until then, this is Jakester signing out. Have a good one.